This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, my close personal friends, Mike Collins and EB.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the original theme park podcast. You are listening to Coaster Radio. My name is Mike. I am here with EB, ready to talk theme parks and thrill rides in a time, EB, that is usually the off-season.
Yeah, this is fun. So now we really are officially in the full-on off-season of Coaster Radio. The summertime is long behind us. Ride announcements and the things that are coming for next year are behind us. Halloween and the haunts are behind us. Mike, it's the off-season. It's wintertime. This is it. This is when Coaster Radio starts to get weird.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And this is why I think Coaster Radio was built. I guess it was built for two things. First, we always said that we wanted people to listen to the show as they were driving to the parks. Like that was always our big thing. But also I think it's for the times when the parks are kind of closed. You know, that people can talk about theme parks and roller coasters and thrill rides all year round. So it kind of gets you through the off season until the springtime rolls around again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We've got some good coaster talk. We've got some good fun. We've got some surprises coming up in the second half of the show. But Mike, we do need to start, like we always do, with the news and our first drop.
Yeah, a sad first drop because you never, ever like to lose a park. Even if it's one of the parks that maybe isn't so great or maybe considered by many to be one of the lower tier ones in the country. But yes, this past weekend, Six Flags America, right outside of my home of Washington, D.C., closed forever. A 50-year run of Six Flags America. But I guess it was known as 51 years, yes. Known as many things over its time. Wild World, Adventure World, and a bunch of other things too, but of course, you know, for the past couple of years,
started as a safari, I think.
Yes,
originally it was a safari, but I do remember Wild World and Adventure World, and when they added the Wild one, that was a huge thing. Of course, that's a relocated 100-plus-year-old roller coaster from Massachusetts, and Mike, this is something we're going to talk about. That coaster's done. Like it's headed for the scrap heap. One of the largest operating wooden roller coasters in the United States. Yeah. Gone. And we can break down the coasters and things unless there's other things you want to talk about. I did want to say I was seeing some posts online. Number one, people lamenting the loss of this park. Yeah. Which is completely BS because just months ago, these same people were saying how terrible this park is and nobody ever wants to go to it. So stop being nostalgic for this park. Cut it out. Number two, I saw that they've already taken down the sign out front.
Oh, that quickly? Gone. Yeah, it's gone. Wow.
And so, and as you know, that park is set back a little bit. So from the main entrance, there's trees and stuff. So the main drive in from the highway, you can't really see what it is. And so now it just looks like, Hill Valley Lion Estates, but it's blank.
Yes,
is what the sign looks like.
Yeah.
And then I also saw they're already have the demo equipment in to start chopping up Batwing for the scrap heap.
Man. So yeah, I would like, if you don't mind, well, here, I think we can do two things. I've got a couple of trip reports from people who were there in the park, and I think we ought to play one and then maybe take a look at all of the roller coasters and see if any of those might be able to. But this first one really kind of sets it up, and it might even be one. Seriously, I'm not making a joke. One of the more emotional trip reports we've ever heard from a park, and I'm not making fun or making a ha-ha here. Like, listen, like this is something that we need to think about with this. Even though Six Flags America was not the best park in the chain, it was some people's home parks. And it was a park that people had a lot of memories with and maybe grew up with. And it was a place that employed a lot of people. So you have to think about that part of it all as well. Listen to this trip report, though. It's from somebody who did care about the park.
Hey, Mike and EB. This is Benji at Six Flags America. And in like 30 seconds, the park is closing for the final time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this is my 20th visit this season. And I got my 340th ride on Wild One today, which it sounds like it's just about to go by here in a couple seconds, but Oh, man. I knew this day was coming, but I wasn't ready for it.
Oh.
It's just, I've cried like probably 6 times today. Oof. I know it wasn't much, but it was my part. Here goes Wild One. I thought I was going to stay here all night, but I think I'm ready to go home.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So
Benji.
the quote there was, I know it wasn't much, but it was my home park. That's really interesting. And I love that we got some audio of the Wild One that, we can preserve here at Coaster Radio. So that's good.
Well, and Mike, as much as we've joked about it over the years, teasing about how this was yours and my home parks. Of course, I grew up in the Northern Virginia area. And, I was in the DC Metro with Mike when we started the podcast before I came out to Indiana. And then I've always teased you ever since that it's still your home park. It was the park that I went to when I was a kid. I mean, I remember going to like a birthday at Wild World. I remember going to, I think my dad's company had their corporate event at Adventure World. And I remember going back to the park when it became Six Flags for the first time and they added Superman and Batman. So, I mean, now I'm being one of those like nostalgic fake out people and saying that it's sad because you know what, Benji, it was in a lot of ways my home park too. It really was. Sure.
And I feel like they were maybe starting to get on the right path again, like with that whole new area that they added, the steampunk town.
What
like
they did with the Whitewater Rapids.
Yeah,
they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying. And, a lot of people said like, oh my gosh, if the rest of the park could look like this new section, who knows what could happen? It just, the plug got pulled. I think they were just too close after the merger to the other parks and were underperforming. And that land is valuable, man. In DC, land is valuable.
400 acres? I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of property that park sits on. Yeah.
Do you want to take a look at RCDB here and see, like, what could any of these rides make it someplace else? Or are they all going to the
I'll give you the
scrap
answer right now.
Yeah.
The Raging Cajun is the Wild Mouse, maybe that one, but everything else, no. But let's break it down because I'll say people are saying maybe the SLC, the old Mind Eraser.
Sure.
But it's old and nobody likes it. It's a horrible ride. Why would you bother moving it? I will say, I will always remember, and whenever anybody says anything Mind or Eraser, my mind goes back to when that ride was first announced and we saw the advertisements on television.
Yes.
Mind Eraser.
That commercial. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
So that one, no. What do you think?
Maybe, like, didn't they move the stand-up roller coaster at one point? They moved that one.
Yeah.
So could it be moved again? Maybe that's one that could be. I'm trying to think of any other, like the Superman isn't going anywhere.
No, and I will say some people were hating on Superman. It's gotten rough over the years. I loved Superman Ride of Steel. I think that is one of my favorite roller coasters. Superman the Ride, Six Flags New England, great. This ride has 2 things that I really love. Number 1, intense helixes.
Yes.
2 really intense helixes that are just so much fun. I love big elements on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And people say that they hate the fact that this roller coaster has those big straightaways. I love that on a roller coaster. I love that on the Beast at Kings Island. I love that on Superman Ride of Steel. That's my favorite coaster in the park, far and away.
Yeah, on those straightaways, you just feel the power, man. You feel the power and the speed on that. And I'm with you. I love a big giant helix. I also like the bunny hops on the way back to are really good. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And a great interpretation. I feel like for we rag on Six Flags for decades about how they just take a roller coaster and then like slap a Catwoman on it. Yes. Superman Ride of Steel is actually a pretty good interpretation of Superman, in my opinion. It really is the way that the ride moves. So we talked about Raging Cajun. This is the Wild Mouse. That one is almost certainly going to get moved. There's no reason not to. It really is a ride that just plunks down on concrete. So just lift it up and move it over somewhere else. Wild One, the Old Woody, that's going away. Roar, definitely going away. Batwing, it's already being chopped up. Yeah. What else do we have? Joker's Jinx. I think Joker's Jinx, it's been listed or been rumored as being I think what was the term? Reallocated or transferred is what the rumor is. But I think when you talk about reallocating or transferring a ride rather than moving it, all that means is that this is going to be a roller coaster that's going to be used for parts.
Yes.
To keep Flight of Fear at Kings Island and Kings Dominion and Poltergeist at Six Flags Fiesta Texas operating. So they're going to take the LIM motors and they're going to just use those. So this one's gone too. Nothing's being saved.
I can't imagine.
From Six Flags America.
We would have heard about it by now. It's all just going to be. I mean, I'm sure some of the flats might go to some of the parts that need it.
New nebulas that they just put in. Absolutely, it will be.
Yeah, and like you said, everything else though for parts. You know, if there's a similar type ride at another park, just the parts are going to go there, and that's what's going to happen. So interesting though to see what will happen to that land, especially for somebody like me who lives in the area. But yeah, I think as much as all the politicians who are around there saying, "Oh, we still want it to be an amusement center," like I don't think that's happening. It's going to be homes at some point.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be very expensive townhouses and strip malls.
Yeah. We did have a second live report from the park, and this is kind of a sad one because of the way that a ride ended up. One that you and I both like, but listen to how
upbeat episode of Coaster Radio.
Yeah, I know, but just take a listen to this, man. It's kind of sad how Superman ended up.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Mike and EB. This is Blue Diamond Coasters, also known as Michael, formerly from Delaware, and I'm joined with.
I'm Austin Krieger, aka Coaster Krieger. I love the show, by the way. You guys do great.
And we're here at Six Flags America's final ever day of operation. It's been a pretty interesting day. We did manage to get on a couple of the coasters. We got on Superman, Joker, Wild One, Roar, and Skywinder. It's been a pretty busy day. We've also just been walking around the park, kind of taking our last walkthroughs. And I was going to call in a trip report after my last ever ride on Superman at night. We were waiting for some of the last few trains. But unfortunately, the ride had a breakdown. It got stuck on the lift.
No.
They were sitting there for a good long while, but then eventually they evac'd the train and had to empty out the line and had to call it there. So kind of sad that Superman had to end its lifetime here at the park that way. But what can you do? It's kind of the risk you have to take for some of these rides, getting the last train ever. But I think Wild One did make it to the end. I saw them sending trains as we were heading through the back of the park. So I'm glad that ride made it to the end along with all the other ones. But it's just saying that I had to pick the one that closed right before the last trains were supposed to go through.
Fitting.
But I'm going to miss this park. I have a lot of memories coming here for the past about 15 years. And I hope some of the rides find future homes or another developer comes in and takes over the park. So, love the show. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, there we go. So, one of the last trip reports out of Six Flags America.
Oh, man. It does stink, Mike, to see a park go away. As much as we teased, Six Flags America over the 2 decades of Coaster Radio, well, we lasted longer than you.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know.
True.
Is that something you're proud of? Maybe.
I don't know. Bummer, man. Bummer. And I'm bummed out that Superman Ride of Steel didn't go out strong. It went out with a whimper, man. So
it sure did. Yeah, my favorite ride. Yep.
Yes.
Too bad.
Indeed. So we're doing a little bit of a shorter show. This is normally where EB and I would have taken a week off, but we don't like doing that here, especially in the 20th season of Coaster Radio. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of a different show. We're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we've got our quick hits and some interesting stories there, including, again, EB, the media kind of taking an incident on a roller coaster and blowing it up into something bigger than it really was.
Anything to distract us from the mayoral election in New York, Mike.
Yes, that's right. Plus some other great stories, too, and news about some upcoming things coming here to the podcast. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about it right after this.
This is Coaster Radio. Welcome back to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, Mike Collins and EB.
Welcome back, everybody, to the original theme park podcast. You are listening to Coaster Radio. My name is Mike. I am here with EB. And yeah, it's the start of the off season, man, but we're going to be rolling through. We've got a ton of great things coming up, including next week. if you are a fan of Coaster Radio, if you are a fan of theme parks, you gotta be here next week, because if you've been listening to this season, you know that we have been playing a game show called The Ultimate. And EB and I are using this game show to find not only the ultimate fan of theme parks and roller coasters and thrill rides, but also the ultimate fan of this podcast.
That's right. What better way to celebrate the 20th season of Coaster Radio, the original theme park podcast, than playing a game show called The Ultimate with the listeners. So this is a real-time, real listeners podcast game show where you go to, is it game.coasterradio.com, Mike? Is that the website?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
All right. You go to game.coasterradio.com Wednesday night, November 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and you can get a seat for the game. It is a trivia game, like Mike said, theme parks, roller coasters, thrill rides, but also Coaster Radio trivia. There's full interactivity. It's going to be like a dual screen experience. So be ready for that. We'll coach you through the whole thing. There's like a points system that's complicated. There's like a betting thing at the end where you bet your points to win. And then we crown a semifinalist over 5 rounds of the Ultimate, 5 semifinalists. This is the final semifinalist round. If you followed me through that,
there you go.
You're good. November 12th, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, game.coasterradio.com.
Yeah, and make sure to go back and watch one of the old ones. You'll see how the game is played. It's one of my favorite things that we are doing on YouTube this year, because every episode of this 20th season is on YouTube. So, by the way, if you're listening to this in your car, you definitely want to go and check out the YouTube channel and see what you're missing visually too, especially
not while you're in the car though.
That's true. That's true. Once you get to work or to school or something, grab your phone at that point. But man, like there's been some fun video elements to some of the shows this year. So, but definitely next week, a ton of graphics and sound effects and all types of stuff.
Oh, it's so much fun. No, you do a great job, Mike. And it really is like a real legit game show with the sound effects and the imagery and the interactivity. So it's complicated, it's fun, it's weird, and you can be a part of it. A great way that you can kind of get an edge over the other players, over the other listeners, is by being signed up for the Coaster Radio email list. Go to coasterradio.com, go down, find the contact page. You can send us your email, be on the email list. Mike sends out not only the reminder about the live game at game.coasterradio.com, but he includes a hint that will get you the right answer for one of the questions during the Ultimate. So make sure you go to coasterradio.com, sign up for the email list on the contact page. Again, Wednesday, November 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's next week. You got to play the game. It's so much fun. And Mike, when we get to the finals in December, the 5 semifinalists that we've been collecting throughout the year, the 20th season of Coaster Radio, come together for the Ultimate Finals. And then we truly do crown the Ultimate.
Yeah. And you know what? I think each of those semifinalists are on the email newsletter. So I don't know if that probably matters, because you definitely get all the points for one of the questions. So can't wait for that next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. So EB, like we said, we're kind of jumbling the show around a little bit, but there are a lot of stories, some interesting ones that actually hit the mainstream press this week. So maybe that's where we should start.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get some quick hits.
Quick hits.
Yeah. Now, I mean, anytime a theme park story hits the mainstream media, you always have to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, because the media always wants to take a story that happens at the theme parks and like blow it up bigger than it is, to make it interesting. And I think that's what's happened with this story that we're about to get into right now.
Yeah, and there's always talk about like news integrity and things like that. And then you've got these news websites and things that have no integrity, have no actual journalism going on, no research into the facts. They just interview one person who speaks in a sensational way. They publish that as the headline, and then it's viral all the way, and they say, "Good job, journalists." Yeah. And that's what this is. This is Mamba at Worlds of Fun. An old Morgan roller coaster, 200 feet tall. The seatbelts, I don't know if a ride operator didn't check or the seatbelt actually was just busted and didn't work. It came undone for 2 girls that were in on the roller coaster. She freaks out, and then the guy in front of her white knights it.
Yeah,
reaches back and holds her in the seat and saves her life. And like you said, Mike, the media is just eating this up and sensationalizing it and putting it everywhere. It's really dumb.
Because EB, the lap bar itself worked perfectly.
Yes.
Right? It's just the car seatbelt that they added, probably because the lawyers told them, hey, you need a backup safety system, even though it's not really needed. That part just either didn't work or wasn't buckled or whatever. But yeah, the actual restraint designed to hold you in the roller coaster functioned perfectly, right?
Yeah, and this is not a ridiculous roller coaster. This is not a modern roller coaster where we have stupid hang time where you're like hanging upside down and you're literally falling into the restraint.
Right.
This is a 1998 Morgan roller coaster with no inversions. You can just hang on and be totally just fine.
Yeah.
Because those seatbelts, it's an aftermarket accessory. The roller coaster is designed to be completely safe with the lap bar. It was built with just a lap bar and no seat belt. It was added after the fact. The quote I love of this guy, he was like, "We got onto the roller coaster on the very first hill, and the girl sitting behind my wife, she lets out a blood-curdling scream like I've never heard before."
Yeah.
That, buddy, it's cool. And then I think what made this really go viral and people get excited about it is, shockingly, this old roller coaster, the Mamba at Worlds of Fun, it still had its on-ride photo going. And so it got a photo.
They got a photo of it, yeah.
Of the girls freaking out and the guy sitting in the row in front of them like, "I got you."
Yeah.
And yeah, this really is just blowing up because I think, people were making a big deal. I guess the park was inspected back in April, according to the laws of Missouri, at the beginning of the season in Kansas City. But then they did do another inspection and they actually did replace several of the seat belts, which is not a good look for the park.
Right.
But at the same time, this is one of those things where it's just a fun, "Could you, bro?
Yeah.
Would you ride this with a broken seatbelt? Look at the on-ride photo."
Right. Yeah. Because they've got that visual that they can put into the story and say, "Look at this brave guy leaning back and saving the girls," when he didn't need
non-story.
To. They weren't going
Let's
anywhere.
move on.
Yeah. Exactly. So you found this. Is this a video that's going around? Maybe you could talk about this and what you saw here. Yeah.
So this is one that's kind of going viral too, and it's just been making the rounds on social media and things. I guess it was a few months ago that somebody rode Velocicoaster, and being funny, they just kind of flopped over Limp at the beginning of the ride, and then you see them on video from the person riding behind them, videotaping them kind of flopping around like a rag doll on Velocicoaster. And if you've ridden Velocicoaster, it tosses you around and does some of these wild elements that Mamba does not do. And it's kind of been recirculating, I think, in light of the terrible accident that happened on Starfall Racers.
Yeah.
And it just kind of makes me want to kind of bring this up again, the whole going limp and on a violent roller coaster. What does that do? This guy really flops around. I remember riding Iron Gwazi, and we got multiple rides when we had our meetup down at Busch Gardens in Florida, riding Iron Gwazi. And I was like, I'm going to try and ride this maybe and be loose. And I've ridden rides, keep it loose. Let's see how much, if I can get some real air time, let's see what I can do. Keep it loose. Don't brace yourself. And I remember trying that on Iron Gwazi and being like, no. After the first couple of moves, it was like, I can't do this. This is gonna injure me. Seeing this guy do it, I don't know how he did it. Mike, have you ever tried just being limp and seeing what the forces flop you around?
Not necessarily like that.
He's like
this guy.
No, you're crazy. What are you doing?
Yeah, this guy completely goes limp. I've tried to maximize the airtime maybe a little bit, but
intentional full-on ragdoll.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever wanted to do that or done that even unintentionally. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Just trying to see if you can go with the flow of the ride. But on some of these really intense rides, you do have to just grab on and like, kind of try to ride with the roller coaster and not go against it, not let your body like just like fly around. You've got to really be holding on. But yeah, I mean, seeing that guy on here, like doing that, even though he's doing it as a joke, and yes, he's doing it way before this accident ever happened. We should make that clear once again. But yeah, you can just see, man, the forces on these rides are pretty strong. For somebody who, would be unconscious or something, it would be really hard to take. For sure.
Yeah, I'd like to hear, maybe this brings up like ways of riding a roller coaster, especially if you get multiple re-rides. I think you do try to ride rides differently, right? Like I'm going to try and ride no hands the whole time. I'm going to try and hold on really tight. I'm going to, I love doing, if I ride in front row, I like to lean forward and put my hands out, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I'd like to hear from the listeners about ways of riding rides and like what's the best way to ride a ride that maybe is an unconventional way of riding a ride.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. I like that.
Right. Like maybe this guy's onto something, and the only way to ride Velocicoaster is to just flop around like a rag doll. He's like, guys, you have no idea. It's the most amazing Zen experience ever.
I'm surprised he didn't get like physically sick from doing that, because your body is just like the equilibrium is being thrown around and stuff. Like, man, oh man. How about this next quick hit? Yeah. Can you tell me about this one too? This is one you put on the list tonight.
Yeah, so Anakeesta is a mountaintop park in Gatlinburg near Pigeon Forge in the Smoky Mountains near Dollywood. Of course, that's a Myrtle Beach, Wisconsin Dells kind of Branson, Missouri situation. If you don't know Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, where Dollywood is, and this is a mountaintop park where you take the gondola up, and then I think they've got like a restaurant and a high ropes course, and they've got the big bridges and the zip lines, and I think they have an alpine coaster, that kind of thing up there. But they just announced a $100 million 5-year expansion plan.
Whoa.
And Mike, I wanted to ask you, does $100 million even go that far these days? Because you hear $100 million and you think it's a big number, but then you also hear on the news that Elon Musk is going to be the world's first trillionaire, and it's like, oh, $100 million? What are they going to resurface the parking lot?
Yeah,
is $100 million a lot?
Maybe for this park and the type of attractions that they have, $100 million might go a long way, and maybe construction and stuff in Gatlinburg isn't as expensive as it is in like a major city or something too. So I don't know.
Well,
but
I mean, you can't put in regular trash cans. They have to be bear proof.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I do see those videos on TikTok all the time of the black bears just waddling down the street in front of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes. And I'm seeing a ton of, have you seen all the AI videos that are out there now? Like you scroll on Instagram, AI videos of bears just walking into people's homes and
and just going into shops and stuff. Mm-hmm.
But it's all AI. That's the problem. Like everybody's putting out AI stuff on Instagram, and it's like,
Well, let's break down this Anakeesta plan here. They're making more magic for $100 million. They're saying it's going to double the Anakeesta footprint, enhance guest experience, and introduce brand new adventures across the park over the next 5 years. Phase 1 next year is new gondolas. So the next generation enclosed, climate-controlled gondolas. I think they even have a transparent bottom. These new gondolas that will take you up to the top. So that's the first thing that's happening. The next thing that's happening is they have what they call a Firefly Village, and the Treetop Skywalk experience is going to get a new Firefly experience. So I think this is essentially lots of twinkle lights.
Yes, there you go.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm not spending my $100 million yet. And then I get to it says phase 2 and beyond, even more magic coming, 2027 plus. And it says, and this is in bold, new thrills. New dining, new attractions, and new family-focused gathering spaces. Phase 2, continuing to deliver imagination, adventure, and core memory moments. So this new thrills piece is what excites me.
Yeah.
Could they put some amusement park rides up at the top of this thing? This is kind of why we're talking about this on Coaster Radio. Is could Pigeon Forge, with all of its, Branson, Missouri, Wisconsin Dells, Myrtle Beach style Ripley's Believe It or Not garbage around the Dollywood Premier amusement park, Could they sustain another full-blown amusement park?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it seems like
could
it
that
would be a
what
good
might
idea.
be coming to Anakeesta?
Yeah, interesting.
That would be cool.
I like that. Really cool. Was Anakeesta around when you and I went down to that area for the?
I don't think it was yet. No. If it was something else.
Yeah. All right. Interesting though. Interesting to see how far they can stretch that 100 million. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Last story here. If you have been going to legacy Cedar Fair websites, such as cedarpoint.com, kingsdominion.com, like we said, if you're at a computer right now, go to it right now. See what happens. Cedarpoint.com redirects to sixflags.com/cedarpoint.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
So on. Yeah.
It's just more of the merger, slowly but surely erasing the Cedar Point brand.
Yeah, so that is happening. I mean, that's just interesting. It's another step. I'm surprised it took 2 years to get to that point. So that's happening. And apparently, before that happened, there was this weird window where someone else owned that domain, and we actually have that person as a guest on the show right now.
Indeed, it is I, Charles Percival Ederpoint, Esquire, Victorian area tycoon turned digital business mogul and rightful heir and proprietor of the Ederpoint digital estate known as Ederpoint.com, Michael.
Ederpoint. Ederpoint. So I got it. So cedarpoint.com.
Yes.
Or wait, did you call it a digital estate?
Of course, I, Charles Ederpoint, of the Ederpoint family dynasty, must maintain appearances, so yes, you may know my sisters Daphne and Esther, or my brothers Franklin and Gatsby, or my father Horrence, D. Ederpoint, or G. Ederpoint, and yes, not long ago, the deed to Cederpoint.com reverted to me as rightful heir to the Ederpoint line. I strode into my study, donned my finest silk cravat, adjusted my monocle, and toasted to the triumph of my family's legacy. And then I immediately planned a visit to my rightfully inherited Cedar Point domain.
Wait. So you didn't buy the website? It just reverted to you?
Reverted, yes. A little known law and rule in Her Majesty's these United States. My divine right and billionaire 1%er tycoon rules of acquisition and inheritance, Michael. Whence the corporation of ne'er-do-wells in this amusement industry made their loathsome decision to renege on their theme park obligations. To a burgeoning entertainment legacy, the great Ederpoint domain do thus become mine, and fell unto my own noble stewardship.
Can you explain what you actually did once you had it?
Yes, well, of course, in the parlor, as I celebrated my good fortune over cigars and brandy with my fellow tycoons and barons, I summoned forth my butler, who summoned my second butler, and then he summoned my chauffeur.
Oh, wow.
I boarded my horseless carriage and made my way to my digital laboratory over yon knoll beyond the garden gates, where my IT lads were hard at work polishing my router with Peruvian whale oils and shoveling digital coal into the server base.
Digital coal. Okay.
Yes, to power the mighty internet engines of the Ederpoint dynasty of corporations. And thus, I logged in with my gilded username, Ederpoint. I, bold champion of commerce and internet explorer, set on safari to visit the Chrome Netscape.
I see. So you visited the Ederpoint domain. I see.
Indeed, the Ederpoint domain. I deemed it, however, unsatisfactory for my portfolio and was ever so pleased to be approached by a buyer, Michael.
Oh, wow.
A consortium approached me.
Oh.
6 sovereign powers, and each bearing their own flag, eager to purchase the Ederpoint domain and add it to their conglomerate of thrilling enterprises.
I see. So 6 nations united under 6 flags. Yeah. Okay.
Indeed, a visionary group they were, together promising to honor my family's legacy, maintaining mighty structures of steel, worthy of the name Ederpoint. Thus, I approved the transfer with a stroke of my fountain pen,
yes,
and a contract using ink made of all Coaster Boys tears.
Oh, yes. The best type of ink. So, congratulations, I guess. Are you happy with the sale?
Positively elated. The next time that you visit any of the properties bearing the 6 flags, you should know, and your listeners should know, that truly they are on the lands of the progeny and me, C. Ederpoint. Fare thee well, Michael. I'm late for an appointment to shoot a rhinoceros.
Oh, wow. So there he was. Apparently, the man who was briefly the owner of the domain cedarpoint.com, just for a time. That's where he owned it. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that's how the internet worked, and the state taxes
neither.
And the whole thing. But okay.
That was very much like Cal from Titanic. Like, he...
I think you got that. I'm very proud of C. Ederpoint for communicating that. That's exactly what was happening there.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
There should have been a Leonardo DiCaprio joke.
That's right. I liked his music, too. Yeah,
I could have shot him. You could just put the Titanic music in there. That might be a good choice.
That might work, too.
That might be a good choice. Retroactively here as we're writing the bit in real time. Okay, good. Hey, speaking of bits, Mike, here's a bit. Let's do a meetup in February. We've talked about this. This is happening, everybody. SeaWorld, I shouldn't say it's happening. It's probably happening.
It's getting close.
Sunday, February 22nd, I think is the date. I keep saying it's going to be February, and I keep remembering, yes, indeed, it is going to be February 22nd, 2026, SeaWorld Orlando. This is what we're trying to make happen. We feel like 90% confident. I'm already looking at plane tickets, Mike, because I think you and I have already talked about we got to get some Epic Universe in there, maybe Monday or Tuesday. I still haven't gone to the fun spots. You were talking about getting on Guardians of the Galaxy. So everybody, check your flights, because from Indianapolis right now, I see a flight from Indianapolis to Orlando for $88 that weekend. So check the flights and get down to Orlando, and let's do a Coaster Radio meetup, everybody.
I love it.
Details to come. Details to come.
We could have details as soon as next week. Who knows? So you got to keep listening, especially here in the off season, because we're going to have the details on that, and it'll be a lot of fun. And maybe some things beyond the meetup itself, too. Some opportunities to hang out in a bunch of different parks and places.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, even if the SeaWorld thing falls through, I'm already going to be there. I got like a wedding to go to, Mike, or whatever. Love. I'm going to ride a roller coaster. See ya. Come down there the weekend of the 22nd. We'll ride some rides. We'll figure it out. It's going to be great. Get your tickets now. Figure it out. More to come on that. We've been teasing the real design contest. That's probably coming. I was getting some emails this week like, EB, give me the scoop. I need to find out how to get, I want to get a leg up on people. Like, come on, man, that's cheating, isn't it? Go back and listen to the old episodes. You can do the real design contest. You'll figure it out. It's cool. All right.
You go.
This is great. Okay, so we wanted to finish up the show here with our thanks, like we always do. Got to say, go to patreon.com/Coaster Radio. Support the show. T-shirt shop on coasterradio.com. Amazon shopping, blah, blah, blah. Mike, just read the names, $20 level.
Yes, these are our friends at the $20 level. Alex Payne, Brian Wackler, Chris Rankin, Cincinnati Nick, the sweatshirt guy, our friends at Club Z, the two bearded coaster Chris's, CM Venom, Colton Toms, Dino, Grace, John Brody, John Brown, and Josh Combs.
Also, Justin Padilla, Karen and Lee Howerin, Kevin Wilson, Kyle Kiefer, our friends at Made to Thrill, Matt Walker, Nick from Paris, Paolo de los Reyes, Rich Barber, Rick Burnley, Shane Mankiewicz, Tom from Louisville, Zachary Carpenter, and a big shout out to our friends at Lindner Design Company, specializing in branding, illustration, and small batch custom apparel. You can find them on Instagram at Lindner Design.
If you are within the sounds of our voices right now, go to your calendar, however you mark time, set an alarm for Wednesday, November 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern. You will want to go to two websites. One is live.coasterradio.com. You will see me and EB recording the show live. Then you go to game.coasterradio.com on your smartphone or another device, and that's how you can play along with the ultimate. Do not miss your chance to win a gigantic prize at the end of the season. It's your last chance to get into the finals. So you got to do it. We want to see the entire, we have, like EB said, 100 seats ready to go. We want all of those 100 seats full.
Yeah, and it really is so much fun. And this is your chance. If you've been doing this the last 4 times, this is your 5th opportunity. Get some friends to help you out. If you get 4 friends and it's a multiple choice, you can just cheat your way to victory.
That's right.
Friend. Come on,
Why
what
not?
are you doing?
Why not? There's lots of ways to do it. So
that won't work. Anyway, yes, the ultimate next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Easiest way to remember is to get on the mailing list. Go to coasterradio.com, click all the links, do all the things. All right, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Coaster Radio, the original theme park podcast. To learn more about the show and hear hundreds of episodes from the archives, visit our website at coasterradio.com. This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Thanks for listening. Peace out, suckers. Coaster Radio is a production of Lift Hill Media, LLC. Audio and video from this program may not be broadcast, edited, or reproduced without our express written permission. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. This was all done in one breath.